American Negroes are of the Judean tribes. We are a mixture of the three southern tribes, and you don't know whether you are from Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, so stop pretending like you do. Our brothers in Jamaica are in the exact same boat. Pun intended. Haitians are Jews. There is no way you could possibly know that their bloodlines are limited solely to the tribe of Levi. You're all just parroting Aria's crazy doctrine. The truth is, there are Israelites in Puerto Rico. However, they are the Afro-Puerto Ricans, and they're Jews, descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. They're not Ephraimites. Here's a very inconvenient factoid for your little 12 tribes chart. Over 75% of Puerto Ricans self-identify as white. So according to your absurd camp doctrines, which say that the so-called white man is Esau, you have Esau right here in your camp claiming to be Ephraim. Do you have any idea how ignorant you campers sound? Esau isn't white, by the way. The kingdom of Edom is in Arabia, which is immediately south of the kingdom of Judea. Secondly, white Puerto Ricans are not Israelites. Only the Afro-Puerto Ricans are, and they aren't from the tribe of Ephraim. They're from the southern tribes. They're the Jews who were shipped all over the world as slaves. Cubans are not from the tribe of Manasseh. In fact, Cubans self-identify as being over 60%. Looks like most of the Cubans in your camp are Esau too, huh? Moreover, the white Cubans look down on the Afro-Cubans and are very well known for their systematic discrimination against them. Why? Because the Afro-Cubans are Jews and the descendants of the slave trade. The reproach of Deuteronomy 28:37 is upon them and not the white Cubans. Wake up. It's the same story in the Dominican Republic. The only Israelites in the Dominican Republic are the so-called Afro-Dominicans. They're not of the tribe of Simeon. They're Jews, the same Jews that were sent out all around the world as, you guessed it, slaves. Rinse and repeat with the Guatemalans. The Afro-Guatemalans are not of the tribe of Zebulun. They're Jews. The native tribes of the South Americas are not Israelites. They have no history of keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is readily apparent when you look into their history. See the facial tattoos on this woman? That's a clear violation of Leviticus 19:28. According to 2 Esdras 13 and 42, the scattered northern tribes would be keeping the laws until the last days. You know, like the Limba in South Africa do. The native tribes in South America are heathens, not Israelites. Only ignorant people believe in these silly 12 tribes charts. Let's continue. There are Mexican Israelites. However, they are descendants of the house of Judah and not the tribe of Issachar. They're Negroes, and they are resented by the native Mexicans. That's an ongoing theme, isn't it? Many of the true Israelites in Mexico were led out of slavery by a man named Gaspar Yanga, whom a city in the state of Veracruz is named after. Quick shout out to David Heredia. Check out his animated series called Heroes of Color. He covers the exploits of Gaspar Yanga and he does so very well. Now, according to the 12 tribes chart, the Aztecs are of the 12 tribes. Well, how does that work? They have a particularly well-known history of bloody human sacrifice to pagan gods in the New World.
These are the city people. the descendants of black Africans who live in communities close to the coast in this area and across India.
The Siddhis, whose features are remarkably African, live across India, where we came face to face with abject poverty. Impoverished and outcasted, they have remained racially intact.
The Siddhis are descended from Africans who came to India. The Muslim princes brought us here from Africa. We have been in Gujarat for 600 years. They were brought here as slaves. They were brought here to work.
The Siddhis' arrival can be traced back to the 10th century, when many came aboard the dhows of Arab merchants who traded with kingdoms along India's west coast. The Arabs are believed to have captured the Siddhis after raids on coastal Bantu villages in East Africa.
The Lembas are the original Hebrews, and they were scattered, as you know, and they crossed into Africa. So they were scattered all over. So in South Africa, in many parts of South Africa, you find the Lembas who are actually Hebrews.
Hebrews, so the Lembas claim to be descendants of ancient Israelites?
Not claim, they are.
They are?
They are.
Okay.
We are the original African Hebrew. We are scattered all over.
Can you give me a few examples of some of the Jewish
Yes,
traditions?
we don't partake of pork.
Okay.
We don't mix milk with meat.
It sounds to me like the Lemba have a unique culture surrounded by others who do not practice the same way.
That is correct. We always believe that the Jewish people who live all over the world are our brothers because we come from the same root.
Could it be that the Lemba are a lost tribe of Israel?
De hecho, cuando era pequeña, yo solía pintarme con cal para decirle a mi mamá que quería estar blanca. Y de hecho, también siempre había querido ser blanca, pero actualmente pues me di cuenta que la piel morena es bonita y sobre todo que sí, hay personas que se ven bien incluso con su color. Como los españoles esclavizaron a nuestro país, pensaron que los negros deberíamos seguir siendo esclavos, que los negros somos feos, que los negros somos malos, que los negros, etcétera, un montón de discriminación.
Entonces, si nosotros como cultura, como etnia, no existimos, obvio que tampoco el gobierno tiene una responsabilidad presupuestal y eso es lo que queremos, ¿verdad?
Being in Africa for 21 years, have you ever came across any Hebrew Israelites that's there?
Of course, I've come across many Hebrew communities in West Africa. In fact, many of the ethnic groups that make up what we know today as Ghanaian, Nigerian, and many of the member states of ECOWAS have indigenous Hebrew Israelite origins. If you to study the original journey of the people there, their own narrative of their own migration patterns, you find the Akan, which is made up of the Ashanti, the Fanti, the Akwapem, the Achem. Many of them trace themselves back to the ancient Hebrew Israelites in Palestine. Those who do not trace their origin back to the Nile Valley Basin, which is where the great migration took place from, have been subject to miseducation through two major institutions, the Western religious institutions and the Western academic educational institutions. Both of them have done a successful job in miseducating us to who the African really is, and therefore perpetuating a self-hate syndrome in the African.
You are African, you're not my people. I don't give a damn what language you speak. And you still a stinking African. And you still a stinking African. You still a stinking African.
So we try to escape our identity with Mother Africa through any means necessary. We call ourselves everything but African, Asiatic, we call ourselves Native American. And unfortunately, we have not been able to escalate the program of lifting that consciousness fast enough, to be able to eradicate that ignorance from the mouths of our people, and most of all from the minds and heart of our people.